The day Alima found out her husband had a side chick, she didn't cry, she didn't scream, she didn't even call her mother. She simply smiled and applied another coat of red lipstick. Because what Ahmed didn't know was that revenge, like good jollof rice, tastes better when it simmers slowly. And what this banker's husband truly has no idea about was that his new side chick wasn't just stunning, she was utterly familiar. He was about to fall madly, desperately in love with his own wife. And when she finally removed her wig in that luxury hotel suite, let's just say side chick don't turn tsunami, and the flood, it washed away everything. This is the story of Alima, the perfect wife, the seductive side chick, and the architect of the sweetest revenge Lagos has ever witnessed. Alima had done everything by the book, the kind of wife they praise in family meetings. Married at 28 to Ahmed, a rising executive at a telecommunications company, she left her promising career in Zaria to follow him to Lagos. She cooked his favorite ogbono with tender goat meat every Friday, pressed his clothes until you could see your reflection, knelt to serve water to his friends who visited. She even knew when to disappear during Arsenal matches, especially when they were losing. A good wife knows when to be invisible. Her mother had taught her. For 5 years, she was the invisible pillar holding their home together. The invisible hand that made sure his shirt never had a crease. The invisible heart that loved without condition. But invisibility has a price. It started small. Ahmed's cologne changed, more expensive, more seductive. His work hours stretched longer. His phone now lived face down. New passwords appeared overnight. His smiles became reserved for his screen rather than for her. The final betrayal came on a Tuesday evening. Alima had prepared Ahmed's favorite efforiro with assorted meats, the dish that once made him propose. As she set the table, his phone pinged. A message appeared. I miss you, baby. Last night was fire. Can't wait to feel you again. The message wasn't meant for her. It never was. But the most devastating part, it was sent to her phone from his. Alima stared at the screen, a strange calm washing over her. She typed back, sorry, I think you meant this for your wife. 3 bubbles appeared, disappeared, reappeared. Then finally, oops, oops, oops. 5 years of marriage reduced to oops. That night, as Ahmed slept beside her, Alima stared at the ceiling, her mind racing. Not with tears, but with plans, because while good wives might forgive, smart women plot. My dear, if men can be stupid, then I can be wicked and devastatingly sexy. These words hung in the air of Ada's luxury apartment in Victoria Island. Ada, Alima's best friend since university, nearly choked on her Chapman. What exactly are you planning, Lima? Ada asked, eyes widening with equal parts concern and excitement. I'm going to give Ahmed exactly what he is looking for and then take everything away. Within hours, Operation Lima was born, named after the seductive alter ego Alima would become. Ada, who ran a successful PR firm with contacts across Lagos, assembled the transformation team. Tunde, the celebrity makeup artist whose hands had touched the faces of Nollywood's finest. Choma, the hair magician who could turn any woman's crown into glory with extensions that defied gravity. And the legendary Mama J, a tailor in Lekki whose needle and thread could transform any woman from madam to baddie in one fitting. 7 days and 350k later, Alima became unrecognizable. Gone were the modest outfits and natural look. In their place stood a goddess with honey gold skin, cascading hair, and curves that our usual clothes had hidden for years. Even I wouldn't recognize you, whispered Ada in awe. Alima changed her WhatsApp name to Lima, created a burner Instagram account with strategic photos, enough to tease, not enough to reveal. Then the master stroke. She followed Ahmed. 3 hours later, he slid into her DMs. You look like trouble in the best way possible. Do I know you from somewhere? Alima smiled at her phone. The fish was circling the bait. She ignored him. He messaged again. She responded coolly. He pursued her harder. For 2 weeks, they danced this digital dance. Ahmed, the once distant husband, now checking his phone obsessively for messages from Lima. The same man who was too tired to take his wife out, now suggesting dinner dates and hotel rendezvous. The first hotel meeting, she cancelled last minute. The second time, she made him wait 2 hours. By the third scheduled meeting, Ahmed was desperate. So desperate that he sent Lima 80,000 naira for hair and makeup. Money taken from the joint account he shared with Halima. The same account from which he had refused to give Halima 50,000 naira for her mother's medication just a month ago. It's too much, he had said then. Now, as Halima watched the alert notification pop up on her second phone, she whispered to her reflection, no, my dear husband, what is coming is what is too much. Room 718 at Oriental Hotel overlooked the Lagos Lagoon. At sunset, the water turned golden, then red blood, almost as if nature itself was foreshadowing the evening's events. Ahmed arrived first, nervous energy making him pace the room. He had ordered champagne, the expensive kind he claimed they couldn't afford for their last anniversary. When Lima knocked on the door, he nearly tripped rushing to open it. There she stood, Halima in her full Lima glory, a dress that hugged every curve, hair cascading down her back and lips painted the color of secrets. You are even more beautiful in person, Ahmed whispered, pulling her into the room. Halima's heart raced, not with excitement but with rage, carefully packaged as charm. Every compliment he showered on Lima was an indictment against how he had failed to see his own wife. As the champagne flowed, Ahmed's tongue loosened. You know, Lima, you make me feel young again, like the man I was before responsibilities. Halima tilted her head. Responsibilities? Like work? Ahmed laughed bitterly. Work I can handle. It is home. You're married? Halima feigned surprise, though Lima's Instagram had never hidden that she was open to married men. Unfortunately, Ahmed sighed dramatically. My wife, she doesn't see me anymore. Doesn't look at me the way you are looking at me right now. Halima turned her face away, not to hide fake emotions, but to conceal very real ones. Maybe, she whispered, maybe she's tired of being invisible herself. The statement hung in the air, but Ahmed was too self absorbed to catch its weight. Nah, you don't understand. She's just predictable, too soft. You know what I mean? All those village values, no fire, not like you. Each word cut deeper than the last. Halima had dimmed her fire for him, reduced her ambitions for him, swallowed her voice for him, and here he was, calling her village to impress another woman. With remarkable composure, Halima asked the question that had been burning inside her. Tell me one thing, Ahmed. If your wife found out about us, about the other women too, what would you do? Ahmed scoffed, refilling his glass. That woman, she is too dependent. Where will she go? Back to Zaria? He laughed. She's all back, no bites. Probably just cry, pray about it, and cook an extra special dinner to win me back. Something snapped inside Halima, not visibly, not loudly, but deep in the chambers of her heart where she had stored years of tolerance. Something broke beyond repair. She stood up slowly, champagne glass still in her hand. You are that sure she wouldn't fight back? 100%. Ahmed nodded confidently. That's why I married her. Safe choice. Halima smiled, a smile that didn't reach her eyes. She placed her glass down carefully. One more question. Anything for you, Lima. Do you love her? Your wife? Did you ever? Ahmed paused, genuinely considering. I guess in the beginning, but love changes, becomes comfortable, boring. Halima nodded slowly. Then, with the precision of someone who had rehearsed this moment countless times, she reached up and slowly pulled off the wig. The wig came off in one smooth motion, then the colored contacts, then the accent she had adopted for Lima. Ahmed froze. The champagne glass slipped from his fingers, crashing to the carpet. His face transformed from confusion to recognition to horror in the span of seconds. Halima, his voice cracked. She stood still, now fully herself, arms crossed. Surprised to see your wife, or surprised she is still fine without village values? Ahmed jumped up from the bed, shock giving way to anger. What kind of sick game is this? You catfished me? Halima laughed. Not the gentle laugh he was used to, but something sharper, more dangerous. Game? Oh, so when you do it, it's just having fun. But when I do it, it's a sick game? She picked up her purse. Designer. Bought with the money he had sent to Lima. No, dear husband. I didn't catfish you. I just gave you exactly what you wanted. A woman who isn't me. Except, surprise, the woman you couldn't resist was me all along. Ahmed collapsed back onto the bed, his mind racing to calculate the damage. Wait, all those messages, the photos, the things I told you, all recorded, Halima said calmly. Every confession, every insult about your village wife, every naira you sent from our joint account, the account you control because, as you said, men should handle finances. She moved toward the door, then turned back. Oh, and the money you sent Lima for Bond Street Air, I used it to pay a lawyer. First consultation was yesterday. Ahmed's face drained of color. You can't be serious. Divorce? Over a little mistake? Halima's hands paused on the doorknob. A little mistake is forgetting our anniversary. This was a choice. Multiple choices actually, made day after day. She opened the door, then delivered the final blow. By the way, that promotion I got at the bank last month, the one you were too busy to celebrate, it came with a housing allowance. I've already found a place in Lekki Phase 1. Movers are coming on Saturday. I figure you'll be too busy with your next side chick to notice I am gone. The story was never supposed to leak. But Ada, ever the PR maestro, had secretly recorded the hotel room confrontation through the nanny cam disguised as a power bank she had given Halima for safety. 1 week after the hotel incident, as Ahmed bombarded Halima with desperate messages and enlisted family elders to intervene, Ada made a choice. "The world needs to see this," she told Halima over lunch at their favorite spot in Ikeja. "Ada, no, it's humiliating enough for him already." "Humiliating for him? Lima, do you know how many women are living your exact story right now? Thinking they are not enough, dimming their light for men who can't even see them. Your story could free somebody." 24 hours later, a carefully edited clip appeared on TikTok under an anonymous account. "When your cheating husband meets the side chick and she's you. Hashtag Nigerian wives fight back. Hashtag the ultimate revenge." It exploded. Within hours, the video hit 1 million views. By morning, 5 million. Screenshots spread across Twitter and Instagram. Blog headlines screamed, "Lagos banker wife becomes own husband's side chick in ultimate revenge plot." The wife, the side chick, the revenge. How one Nigerian woman turned the tables. Ahmed and Halima, when the hunter becomes the hunted. Media requests flooded in. Morning shows wanted interviews. Podcasts sent DMs. A famous filmmaker called about rights to the story. Ahmed's phone wouldn't stop ringing either, but for different reasons. His friends mocked him in group chats. His boss called him in for a reputational concerns meeting. His mother stopped speaking to him after seeing the video of him calling Halima's values village. Meanwhile, Halima, who had never sought fame, found herself reluctantly at the center of a cultural conversation about marriage, fidelity, and women's worth. The podcast invitation she finally accepted wasn't from the highest bidder, but from a small show run by a women's support group, Breaking Silence, Nigerian Women Unfiltered. "I never wanted to humiliate him," Halima explained on air, voice steady. "I just wanted to feel what it was like to be seen again, to be desired by the same man who had trained himself to look past me." The host leaned forward. "And now? What happens now?" Halima paused, considering. "Now I remember what it feels like to be the main character in my own life." 3 months after the hotel confrontation, Halima sat in her sun-drenched apartment in Lekki Phase 1. The divorce proceedings were underway. The viral moment had faded into internet history. Life was finding its new rhythm. Her phone burst with a message from Ahmed. "I miss us, the real us, before everything. Can we try again? I've changed." Halima looked at the message for a long time, then at the contract on her coffee table, and offered to host a new YouTube series with Discovery, African Women Unfiltered. She typed back, "The woman you miss doesn't exist anymore. She was a creation, your creation. The real me was always here, waiting to be seen. Find your healing, Ahmed. I found mine." She put down the phone and picked up the contract. Her signature would finalize tomorrow's new beginning. Because sometimes revenge isn't the end of the story. Sometimes revenge is just the beginning. Sometimes revenge isn't just about getting even. It's about getting free. Halima wasn't just a wife who became a side chick. She became a woman who refused to be a side character in her own life story. And in the process, she didn't just get revenge, she got herself back. Subscribe for more real African stories that society doesn't want to talk about.